Hello, howdy, yeah. Well, you scientists, if you're interested in, here are a few simple experiments you can do. Anybody can do them at home. They're perfectly safe, and I think some of the results will surprise you. I'm lighting up a cigarette just to show that I'm still smoking and I'm still 78 and I'm still alive. And I can still fast to be 50. And my next video will be how to avoid getting wrinkles. Right, now there's a few experiments you can do. Very, very simple. First of all, blow gently on the back of your hand. You should feel like a warm breath on the back of your hand. Next, just lick the back of your hand. Or if you don't want to lick it, get a wet cloth and wet it with a wet cloth. And do exactly the same again. Blow gentle warm air on it. And lo and behold, it's freezing cold, isn't it? Now, that may surprise you. If it does, it's because you have absolutely no knowledge of thermodynamics. In fact, what is actually happening is, and the reason it happens, is because when you blow on your hand, it's warm air blowing on it, so it warms up. When it's wet, that warm air evaporates the wet, and evaporation takes energy to, if any liquid takes energy to convert into a gas, and that's what happens when water evaporates. So the energy is taken from your hand to generate it, and lo and behold, it becomes cold. It's as simple as that. And the thing will even work if you wet your hand and blow it with a hairdryer. When you first start, you'll find it's cold, and then as the water stops evaporating, it becomes warm. And while you got your hairdryer out, here's another thing that may surprise you. There's an air intake at the back of it, isn't there? If you put your hand over it and cover it, what do you think would happen? Do you think it would go faster or slower? Thought about it? Well, most people would think it would go slower because it's got more energy to suck it in. Wrong. It will go faster because there's less air for it to move. Thermodynamics again. And another thing, I've got air conditioners, portable air conditioners. A brilliant idea. I've had them now, must be at least 10 years. Only the people that designed them don't have this information. They have absolutely no idea of thermodynamics. They have two speeds on them. One very fast and the other supersonic fast. When in fact, an air conditioner, if anybody knows anything about thermodynamics, is that if the air coming out is twice as fast, the temperature will be half. In other words, if you run at half the speed, you've got half the air coming out, but it's twice as cold. So you're wasting energy producing this draft that's doing nothing. And not only that, the energy from the motor that's driving it is also producing heat, which is going to heat up the room. And the same thing applies to heaters. If you have a fan heater and switch it on high heat, if it doesn't have extra elements, in other words, to generate more heat, the air coming out will actually be colder than if you have it on a slow speed. Thermodynamics again. It's quite logical if you stop to think about it. But there you go. I'm cutting this short now. I'm saying goodbye. As I say, the next thing I'm going to talk about was, what did I say at the beginning? I've forgotten. Oh. Anyway, goodbye then.